Alright, and in goes our friction reducer. What's up, internet? Welcome to Mo's Garage. In today's video we're going to be doing the ultimate oil change on my wife's 2006 Nissan Xterra. Alright, so what makes this oil change so special? Well, there's three things I'm going to be working on today. First and foremost being changing the oil. You'd be surprised how many people don't change their oil on a regular basis. My wife would be one of them if she didn't have me. Second thing is we're going to be replacing the seal for the oil cooler down here. Then last but not least, we're going to be adding a friction reducer, which we'll talk about a little bit later. So with all that said, let's get started. First thing is first, let's go ahead and slide our oil drain pan underneath the vehicle. Then we can go ahead and crack open the oil drain plug with a 14mm socket. And while the oil is draining, we can go ahead and replace the gasket for the oil drain plug. Okay, so once your oil is done draining, you want to take your drain plug with the new washer, and you just want to screw it on by hand until you can't anymore. Alright, and then you want to go ahead and tighten it up with your ratchet all the way until the washer gets crushed. Then from there you want to go ahead and give it an extra quarter turn to make sure it's properly sealed. Alright, so up next is the oil filter and the oil cooler seal. Now to get to those, you're going to need to remove this skid plate here. Not just the access panel, but the whole skid plate. So to do that, there's going to be a 10mm screw right here. There's going to be another one right here. And there's going to be two through these big access holes right here. And that should remove the skid plate. So let me get to that, and then I'll see you guys in just a sec. Alright, so with those two just loose, slide this up and out of the way. Here we have the oil filter, and then behind it is the oil cooler seal. Alright everyone, so up next we got to remove the oil filter. I'm going to use some pliers just to make things a little bit easier. Make sure you move your catch can down below here, because this is where the oil is going to drip. I'm going to do it slowly, just so that not too much leaks out, to avoid making a mess. Then remove the filter the rest of the way. There we go. Alright, so now to remove the oil cooler stud, I'm going to use a 22mm deep socket to break loose the stud, and then I'm going to remove it the rest of the way by hand. Now that the oil cooler stud is out, you can go ahead and reach behind the oil cooler, lifting up and away from the engine. This will expose the O-ring, which you can then just remove with your fingers. Once you have that out, take the opportunity to just go ahead and clean up any extra oil that has leaked. Alright everyone, so here is the old seal, and here is the new seal. These guys look almost identical, except for the new one doesn't seem to have all these grooves and ribs and stuff that the old one does. But otherwise, they're the same diameter, and they appear to be the same thickness. So I'm going to go ahead and install the new one and go from there. Alright you guys, so we're going to go ahead and install the new O-ring. So what we're going to do is lift this bad boy back up. Put this guy in the groove. Okay, just like that. And then we're going to take the stud, stick it through the cooler, very carefully try to seal up the cooler without accidentally moving that gasket. Alright, so with that stud mounted in there by hand, I'm going to go ahead and torque this guy to 36 foot-pounds. Alright, so now that we have that in place, we're going to take the old filter and with a little bit of new oil, we're going to lube up this O-ring so that way it's easy to remove the next time. Now we can go ahead and tighten this up just and tight. Just like that. Now it's time to add in our engine oil. The Xterra takes 5.4 quarts of 5W30. I'm going to go ahead and add the 5 quarts and then we can top off the rest later. Alright you guys, so with our 5 quarts of oil in, we're going to go ahead and remove our funnel, the oil cap back on, and we're going to go ahead and start the engine. What we're going to do now is we're going to check underneath while the engine is running to make sure that there are no leaks. And now that we verified that there are no leaks, let's go ahead and put the skid plate back on so we can move on to adding our friction reducer. Alright everyone, so now that we've added our 5 quarts of oil to the Nissan Xterra, it's time to top off the rest of the 5.4 quart capacity. And we'll be doing that with our friction reducer. Of course, I am talking about motorkote. Now, this is not a sponsorship or a paid sponsorship of any kind. I did go out and buy this with my own money, and the reason I did that is because there's another YouTube channel by the name of Project Farm. They did a great review on this thing, and it looks like based on their results, it actually helps to reduce engine wear significantly. So if we actually turn this over to the back, the instructions say to shake well before use. And based on the 0.4 quarts of oil that we still need to add to the Xterra, that actually happens to fall within specifications of the 2 fluid ounces to 3 fluid ounces per quart of oil. So I'm going to go ahead and just top it off the rest of that with this. Alright, time to go ahead and add it in our friction reducer. Open up the cap, stick our funnel in. Make sure we shake this thing really well. Alright, and in goes our friction reducer. Alright, let's remove the funnel, put our oil cap back in. We'll go ahead and start the engine and then check our oil reading. Alright, let's go ahead and get our dipstick, wipe off any oil that's on here since we just started the engine, and then let's go ahead and put it back in and read the level. Alright, so if you can see that, looks like we are right within the 2 dots. So we'll call that good. Alright everyone, so the Xterra is back on the ground. We went ahead and we drained the oil, then filled it back up with 5 quarts of synthetic oil and topped the rest off with that motor coat. Over here we went ahead and we replaced the oil filter as well as the oil cooler seal. Now this right here is what I'm calling the ultimate VQ oil change. Now realistically the only difference between this and a standard oil change is this motor coat. I did end up using about 12 fluid ounces to top off the level. And the goal with this is not only to extend the life of the engine, hopefully, but to prevent the timing chain guide issue, ideally. Now, realistically, I know that's a lot to ask for, but at the same time, I'm hoping that this will either extend the time that I actually have to replace them or, prevent it altogether. Normally, this issue shows up at around 100 to 110,000 miles, and right now I am at 140, so you know, hopefully this is actually going to work, but only time will tell. So with all that said, that's going to wrap up this video. Thank you guys so much for watching, and as always, have a good day.